What's going on, guys? I'm Isaiah Manning here with another episode of Redshirts alongside with my co-host, podcast host, basketball star, public figure, influencer, fan favorite, Jace Posey. Jace, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Isaiah. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. To fill you guys in, Jace and I went to a baseball game this past weekend. We got some tickets from the producer, James, back there. Shout out to James.
Shout out James.
Fact, shout out James. He does all the work behind the scenes for us, makes all this possible. We really just, here to talk. But at this baseball game, we saw some kids. Kids, they instantly see Jace, see the signature hair, all that. They run up to him. Oh my God, Jace Posey, take a picture with us. You know what I'm saying? He's great with the kids, take the pictures, just real fan favorite guy. Mm-hmm. So tell us about that experience, talking to those kids.
It shocked me. I'm in the baseball arena getting food from the concession stands, and a lady tapped me on the back and said, "Hi, my kid noticed you from TikTok and said you go to TCU." So I was like, "Okay, I can take a picture with y'all. Take a picture with him and his friend." And then I was gonna tell him like my teammate's Isaiah over there, but I didn't know if they were like that tuned in to TCU basketball, so I didn't say that. But you told me that the kid was like just staring at you from across the room, or.
Yeah, and then he commented on my TikTok. He was like, I saw y'all at the game, said what up to Jace, took a picture with him, whatever. So I think that's dope that you interacting with them.
Yeah.
Just because, as our names get bigger, leading up to the season, it's going to be more important that we talk to the fans.
Yeah.
So to address the elephant in the room, this past weekend, TCU football had a game against the rival. What are your thoughts?
So I was disappointed. I feel like everybody's a bit disappointed, but 1 week at a time. So we got next week and more weeks to come. So, we can only go up from here. I don't see us, losing any more games like that. But, I got faith in the TCU team, and, I'm just excited to see what they're going to do.
And I do like that mentality because the one thing that I saw that just hurt me was how people really gave up. Yeah. Like, it's a rivalry game. I get it. We really want to win. This game is not the entire season. But, I felt like fans gave up on the coaches, the players, everybody. I saw anybody on staff, I didn't saw fire next to their name. Yeah. All the players I saw, like, bench him, he's trash. Like, it was the same people in week 2 saying, oh, my God, Hoover looks like a pro.
Yeah.
Now saying Hoover can't be quarterback for a winning team. Like, you got to make your mind up, man. You know what I'm saying? Let guys have good and bad games. And it was really unfortunate to kind of see how fans, like, gave up. There's people, like, retiring they fan accounts. Like, it just got dark for a little minute with TCU. But, with that, a little bit of energy shifted towards basketball. I saw some people saying things like, can't wait for basketball season. That picture of us, we can throw it on there. That had everybody riled up. So, what do you think is going to be, like, important for us kind of piggybacking off of, or not piggybacking, but I guess taking a different direction from football?
I'm not really too tuned in onto what football is doing, but if I was the football team and if I were the basketball team, I would just stay out of the media. You don't need to read every comment out there because they're not all good ones and the bad ones might get to you. And even if the good ones get to you, it's probably not going to make you – it's either going to make you feel too good or not good enough, and then you're just in that place in the middle where, oh, I got to do this for them or I'm not doing enough for them. So I would just say stay out the comment sections and just kind of – focus on the team and the situation. Yeah,
and I saw a couple guys went to, Twitter to say their piece after the game.
Yeah.
Which I think it ultimately depends on the individual, how their mental space is. But I think it was Kamara, however you say it. He really went on there and defended the coach because people were going after coach like crazy, which I didn't think was right. I mean, this dude took us to a national championship in his first year. Yeah. He's not a bad coach. You know what I'm saying? SMU beat us. He's the best coach SMU's ever had. So the switch up on him was crazy, but I like to see those guys defending their coach because I know, if anybody has anything to say about Dixon, it's going to be the same thing from us just because coaches have a bit of responsibility, but at the end of the day, as a player, you know that you're the one on the field and you're responsible for that outcome.
Before we go to the next topic, like even when last year in Hawaii, when Dixon got kicked out, everybody's all riled up. The next game we came back and, we did what we had to do and got the dub. So I see that happening for the football team, and it's possible.
Talking about those guys on Twitter that we saw, a little bit of the mental health aspect of it. I saw that Asia Wilson, in one of her speeches to her teammates, was saying how, like, some days she doesn't want to be Asia Wilson. So obviously, on these days where you're losing games, it's going to be way worse. Talk about some days where you maybe didn't want to be Jace Posey.
I could probably go back a week. I woke up probably around 6 o'clock, got to the facilities, and we had to be on the court for conditioning. And at the moment, I just did not want to be myself, and I didn't want to be in my situation. But you gotta be real with yourself. So you don't want to do this, but you got to do it. So
Facts.
I'm like, I don't want to do this, but like I am Jace Posey. I can't just hop in another person's shoes. So I'm gonna just do my duties, get in the gym, and I get the privilege to go run and get conditioned by a world-class trainer, as he would like to call himself. Shout out Coach G. But you just gotta be real and be happy with what you have, because not everybody wants to get up and run in the morning. But
facts.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
And it's that double-edged sword, I like to call it, of having that privilege that we have. There are a lot of privileges that people acknowledge. Obviously the free food, got our own dining hall, scholarships, whatever. But people don't realize it comes at a cost.
Yeah.
And so I tell people all the time, somebody said after the game, they were like, we need to take the dining hall away from the football dudes.
The scooters.
Yeah, all this
that
stuff. And it's just like, bro, if you were waking up when them football dudes wake up, because they be up earlier than us.
Yeah. Way
you
earlier.
Were lifting with their insane lifting coach that try to kill them every day, y'all would not be talking about them like this. And so I think more stuff like this, opening people up to the experiences, will help athletes tremendously. Just because people don't really recognize that, the work getting put in, win or loss, guys are still working. So I kind of wanted to open up our experiences. So kind of walk me through, maybe I'll do an away game, you can do a home game, but just what a day in the life for you looks like on a home game day.
What time would this game be?
Say 7 p.m. game, one of those days.
7 p.m. game. We probably had shoot around early in the morning. So you probably go to 1-2 classes, get excuse from the third class. You go to the gym, put your shoes on. In basketball, you have to have a routine. So before every game, we going through our shooting routines and shooting free throws as a team. After that, they got a good meal for us, steak, all this healthy food for us to eat, water. You can't complain about that. And then you probably get an hour or two time to yourself, go back to the crib and just chill, get on the game and just hang out. And then you got to be back to arena probably 2 hours before the game. Some people go up with Coach G and do some activation work, and some just head straight to the court. And then game time probably 30 minutes after that.
Facts. And just to put in perspective, kind of give it some timestamps for some of that stuff. Maybe 7 p.m. game might be maybe 11 a.m. shoot around.
Yeah,
I'll approximate at that time.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Maybe around 11 a.m. for the shoot around. Leave, come back. Got to be back maybe about 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Yeah.
So you're chilling around the gym all day. For an away game, it's like this times 10. We're going to probably get there, the day before?
Yeah, the day before.
Day before, go
shoot around before, though. Shoot around before the flight.
Yes. Okay. Let's start even before we leave.
Yeah.
Practice, get out of practice, change clothes, get on a plane, land. Sometimes we even went straight from there to the shoot around. So then go to the shoot around at the next gym, come back, talk about world-class meals. I feel like our away game meals were even better than the home ones. We got the chef in there chopping up whatever you need, salad plates, all that stuff, pasta, all that. Go to sleep, wake up, shoot around again in the morning, and just kind of getting ready all day, just keeping you around the gym all day. So I think that's the best part of it for me.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in that game mode, I just want to be just around the game. I want to be dribbling the ball, sitting there underneath my legs, whatever. I think the coaches do a great job of having us do that.
Yeah, I'm glad to, get to experience that again, because last year we didn't get to, we were there for the game, but we weren't playing in the game. And, you go about those two things two different ways.
Different.
We weren't as locked into some of the players on the court. Doesn't mean we're goofing off, but I miss having to lock in for a game. I miss knowing that I got to go in there and I got something to prove. So I'm just excited to get that whole feel back for it again.
And with official practices coming up on Monday, that marks 42 days from the first game. Yeah. So that feeling will be back soon.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Seems like you're excited. Seems like everybody's excited. And if you had to tell people kind of one thing you're most excited for going into that first game, what you think it would be?
I'm excited to see my family, just so they can see me on the court again. And they're part of the reason why I go out there and play basketball. So I'm excited to see them.
It's a great reason.
What about you?
I have to say the same one. That's honestly an inspiring answer for you, Mr. Posey. But no, yeah, give my parents the opportunity to see me play again. I think it was important that I committed to TCU being so close to home so they could watch me play. So I'm just excited to really put on for them.
That's good, family man.
We talk about that day in life, being an athlete, what everyday life is like. Kind of talk about what it's like having to filter a lot of the things you say, just knowing that there's constantly eyes on you.
So in high school, it was kind of hard for me because, I mean, you don't know what you are to some people. So, I mean, you think you're still sophomore kid in high school, just going to school to play basketball and do school, but people see you as this Instagram, as you said earlier, public figure,
right.
Whatever. You got a blue check. People just, I mean, they don't know how to kind of grab that concept that somebody go to school with has a blue check, and you see Champagne Poppy with a blue check. They're like, oh God, he's this and that. So, in high school, I mean, I wasn't talking recklessly, but I wasn't, I would say, properly media trained in high school. Not saying I was a bad kid, but I didn't know all the times and places of when to say this and that. So I feel like getting into college and talking to more people and doing more like Zoom interviews and doing a podcast, actually, I feel like it's helped me, mature and just figure out right and wrong and what's appropriate to say.
100%. I think I had some of those same struggles with just, I think what frustrated me most in high school being an outspoken guy is that I just wanted to say what I wanted to say. And it was that crossroads, especially with my dad. He was just like, you don't have to say everything you want to. You can't say everything you want to. And at times, like that's a part of it that kind of frustrates us. Like, me and you before this podcast, we asking, can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? And, for some people, they can just talk about whatever they want to.
Yeah.
But understanding that you're in that media light, I think ultimately it leads to more decisive speech. Like I've slowed down what I'm saying and really focused on it just because you don't really want to slip up. But I had an incident in high school. I don't know, I got into it with like some group of girls and we was going back and forth on Snapchat or whatever. I'm thinking everything all cool. Whole time, because it's Isaiah, somebody took a screenshot of me. I probably like missed the game or something. Just for like some just regular like high school nonsense. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
But that's the unfortunate side of it.
Yeah, I done been through something like that too. It wasn't even nothing crazy, but whatever. I'm gonna just simplify it a lot. The girl said I liked her, but I just didn't like her. Okay. So I made that known, not in a crazy way, but in an appropriate way.
In a Jace Posey way. I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to guys in the NBA, NFL, whatever.
That'd be the worst.
It's most unfortunate at those levels. Yeah. So I'm just glad that like I kind of got my knucklehead, say whatever I want phase out in high school when I had 2,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? So that way I get to the point I got 100,000, I don't got to worry about all that. Talk about that. Any guys that have kind of stuck out to you, it could be athletes or not. I know you're a big Kanye fan. Kanye seems to be one of those guys, or at least I know I am. I know you like a lot of songs that I like. Yeah. But he doesn't care. Do you ever think about what your life would be like if you weren't a hooper and you could just say what you want?
I think about it all the time. And I mean, social media is just so powerful. So I sit at home, something comes across my head. I want to tweet it, but I know I can't. But maybe Kanye or, some type of rapper probably can, but I can't because I'm an athlete and I represent this and that. Right. And I feel like in other professions, like you represent your own brand, and as athletes, we represent more than just ourselves.
Facts. And I feel like this is what leads so many guys. KD was a leader of this wave, but like with the burner accounts. Yeah. Because dudes just get tired of like not being able to say what they want to say, and they just make a burner. Like I know I had a burner for a little bit. I had to put my burner into retirement because ultimately I think that's a false sense of security. You get a burner account, you be like, oh, guys don't know it's me saying this. I can say whatever I want. And I have to just think that that's not the case ever. You always want to play it safe. So I had to put that account to retirement. But, TCU has a bunch of burners. I know a bunch of those burner accounts. Dudes then been calling me like king of the burners because I be on Twitter a bunch, which I think is dope because I like burner accounts and I like what they stand for. But even like opposing fans, I was going back and forth with a guy on a Baylor burner account the other day. He watched the podcast.
That's good.
And so I was like, I'm rooting for Colorado against Baylor. He was like, that's crazy, bro. I just watched your last episode. And I couldn't even be mad because I'm like, this is a Baylor fan watching our show. Like, that's really crazy.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you communicated with the Burners is going to help you or, not help you in the long run?
I think one thing that I've determined is that my burner communication will be essentially at whatever rate I want it to be. So like you said, I'm not the guy who's going to, hey, how y'all think I played after this game? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be very mellow when it gets to game time. But I do understand that, guys have to be held accountable for, playing well, playing bad, whatever the case may be. And so, I hope that I've created a relationship with these accounts where they can, critique me. I'm not too sensitive of a guy. If it's something I need to work on, I want to hear it. But at the same time, if I know I'm not in the headspace right now where I need to be hearing all that, then I'm just going to kind of remove myself.
Will you be responding to opposing teams' burners during the season? Say we get off a road game at Cincinnati, you go 1 for 15.
Jesus!
And you got 5 turnovers, and they just grilling you on Twitter. Are you gonna reply to that?
I think if I go 1 for 15 with 5 turnovers, there are a lot of things I need to respond to in life before a social media account. So, I'll probably take some time, get in the lab first off. 1 for 15 is unacceptable. 5 turnovers, unacceptable. But I can see myself maybe going back and forth at some times. Not getting in any arguments with a fan account because I think as a public figure, like we said, you just lose those. But, I'm a little bit of I guess I would say a toxic guy. So if a burner account, hop on there before a game and it's like, Isaiah Manning be on here all talk on the podcast. He not really a real hooper. And then we go dog him. I'm replying for sure. But, as they say, shut a guy up. So I think if we lose a game, I'm probably not going to be on there trying to defend myself. That's just really weak. Yeah. But, yeah. I talked about me picking Colorado over Baylor. What are your thoughts about the Colorado football team?
I like them a lot. I like that they come out every week and they put on a show.
Facts.
I like what I see from Shedeur and Travis Hunter, and I like how the media promotes these 2 athletes in a positive way.
Facts. And I like Coach Prime too.
Yeah.
He's not from the area, but Shedeur went to high school kind of nearby. He went to high school, I think, in Cedar Hill. So I saw a little bit of their stuff when he was in high school. And I just love what they're doing. Yeah. I think that Shedeur specifically gets a ton of hate, which, it is what it is. He's in the media a lot. He's going to get hate, but he performs. I saw he threw essentially 2 game-tying touchdowns. You see the first one the guy dropped. He threw. He was like, okay, I got another one for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was dope. And like you said, every game seems like a blockbuster show. Yeah. So I love it. I am a Colorado football fan for sure. Colorado basketball, absolutely not. But no, it is what it is. Yeah. Conference rival.
Yeah, but shout out Shedeur, shout out Travis Hunter, and shout out Coach Prime.
Shout out everybody. Shout out old boy that caught that touchdown side of the game. I think his last name Wester. Shout out Wester. He been going crazy. Shout out Horn Jr.
Yeah.
These some of the guys I use when I play NCAA with them. And just shout out to them dudes. Shout out to the O-line that constantly they getting talked crazy about.
Y'all go out there every game and, shove against men and do y'all job. But I don't know a better way to say that. They defend, they shove men for however long the game is. So
they do.
And they do their job every game. And yeah, shout out y'all.
Shout out to the Colorado football team.
Talking about social media, my co-host here, Isaiah Manning, on Instagram, his username is BGUZay. So I want to give him the chance to kind of explain the story behind that username. So
first, I would like to say that I tried to change my username last week, but the name I tried to get was taken. So BGUZay was never a name I really settled on. I chose that name because my original Instagram account at the Zay2K got hacked. I loved that account, but it got hacked, got shut down. So I kind of just picked one, hoping to get the old one back, never did, and the BGU thing kind of stuck. But the BGU is for Big Guard University. I myself, being 6'7", feel like I have a guard skill set, and just trying to translate that, use my size and skill set to kind of combine, work together as a basketball player. So that's why I have that. Why is yours Supreme_Posey?
So in 6th grade, I asked for a Supreme headband for Christmas. I got it. I put it on. And I was just like, you know what? From now on, I'm going to go as Supreme Posey. And, it's stuck around for a while. And I just kind of embraced it and accepted it. and just kind of turned into his own thing. So I'm excited to represent the Supreme team and, you know,
just need to really have you represent the team. You know, that's the next step.
Yeah.
Getting you on the Supreme team. And I forgot to mention this too, but with my old account, the Zay2K, you know, the TCU page tagged it by accident or whatever the other day.
Yeah.
And Desmond Bain had tapped in. So shout out to Desmond Bain. He was asking about getting on the episode. We absolutely got to get him on. And it's dope to see guys like that supporting.
Sure. And reach back.
He's like the biggest name really we got in the history of TCU basketball, so that's dope.
Max contract.
And I think he's going to have a great year. Yeah. I'm frustrated if he doesn't make an all-star game this year. I feel like he already kind of got snubbed for making one. So way to put on, you know, 30th pick, barely first-round pick, and look at him now, probably one of the top 3 dudes in that class.
Just a kid from Fort Worth, Texas.
Where's he actually from, though? I think he's from, like, Memphis?
We're going to have to research
I might have just guessed
episode.
That might have been a horrible guess. Yeah, but we'll lock it up.
Yeah, we gonna lock in.
Facts.
But, appreciate you for reaching out to us and just, you know, it means a lot to us. And we can't express as much as it means to us on social media, but it truly means something to us for you to reach back and get in contact with us. So appreciate you, Desmond. And you have anything else to say?
I mean, I think it's just dope. We might have already said this, but it's dope that I'm in contact with a guy like that. You know, he did the workout with us, gave us his number, whatever. There's an NBA all-star phone number that I got if I need that resource. Yeah. So just being in rooms with dudes like that, I think is super important. How all those dudes came back and we scrimmaged against them, that was amazing, being able to play against some pro guys. So just appreciate the Pro Frogs, man, you know what I'm saying, coming back and investing in the program. We see y'all, we appreciate y'all, and we will be like y'all soon.
That's the plan.
Facts. Talking about hometowns, you know, we said from Fort Worth, Texas, for him, we don't know. What do you think you being from Houston did to help or hinder your basketball career?
I think Houston helped a lot. Growing up, I grew up in kind of the Baltimore area. And I know for a fact I would not be as good as I am in basketball right now if I would have stayed over there, just because when I came to Houston, there was a lot more resources and just I got to work out with a lot more people. And I know the basketball culture down there in the DMV is extreme and they really blow everybody up. But I feel like Houston played a great part in kind of my recruitment process. Just being, I mean, Houston's one of the biggest cities in the world. So if you're a top ranked kid in Houston, you one of the top ranked kids in the world. So, I mean, just being able to be a Houston kid and put on for my city is amazing. And I'm excited to go down there and play against U of H.
That should be a crazy game, too.
And you being from, you know, Mansfield, kind of around the Dallas area, how does it feel kind of being local to home at TCU?
So my story looks a lot like yours in terms of I played basketball when I lived in Vegas. I don't think the competition level was too great out there. I'm pretty sure there's only one EYBL team in the state. There might not even be like an Adidas team. Like I know a lot of guys from there normally go play ball in Cali. And so the comp was worse. I feel like like you said, the resources were worse. And as soon as I moved to Dallas, it was just like people saw me and were like, we're not going to let this waste away. Like my trainer, shout out to J-Walk. J-Walk really introduced me to higher level skill set and kind of being able to play on the wing. But he just saw a skinny, 6'4", 8th grader and was like, I'm not about to let this waste off. Got me in the lab, gave me some more resources to work with. And like you said, being in that loop of just elite talent, it's crazy. Somebody was asking me the other day, they were like, are basketball players in the NCAA friends with one another? And I was like, I'm friends with a bunch of dudes just because I'm from the Dallas area and we got like 50 D1 players. So I think it's dope me being able to say I was on Drive Nation and practiced against Jordan Walsh and Ron Holland. Like I probably didn't played against like at least 10 NBA players just off being over there. So I think that was great.
Cool experience.
And I'm not going to get into the Dallas versus Houston thing anymore. We can leave it in the past. But I will say a Texas versus America thing, I think that Texas, combining them two basically got their own state. Texas, Dallas probably got better hoopers than the entire state of Nevada. Houston probably got better hoopers than the entire state or whatever. Combine the two of them, makes Texas basketball, makes TCU basketball. And that's what we're here to promote, man. But I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
And, them EYBL tournaments, we go out, we showing out how your team was in the championship, my team was in the championship. Texas just puts up numbers. So I'm glad that we keep getting these hometown recruits. Shout out to Bug Edwards, the newest TCU commit.
Welcome to the team, man.
From Duncanville. We want to welcome you. We want to get you on the podcast. So you're not too far away. We're going to get you on one of these seats soon, trying to talk about your journey. But that's dope.
Yeah.
More pipeline work like that NCAA game. You know, like this pipeline TCU got. We got Micah. We got me.
Yeah.
We got Bug from this DFW pipeline. We got you.
Trey Z.
We got Ash.
Trey Z from around
Facts. Trey Z. Well, if you want to go transfers, then Trey Tennyson too.
here.
All them dudes.
Yeah. Avery Anderson.
Avery from the area. Everybody from the area. Micah Peavy from here. Jacoby from here. We want to just keep going. It's really everybody. X from kind of like out into the country, but it's still Texas.
Yeah.
You and Ash from Houston. Ed.
Nah, Ash from Beaumont.
Ash is from Beaumont. And Beaumont dudes really hate the Houston tags. You're right.
I hate that.
You from Houston, Ash from Beaumont, Ed and PJ, both from Houston. Like these dudes recruit Texas really well. Yeah. And I think that's going to make us a great team.
I agree.
So shout out to TCU for doing their job.
Great job.
We had our media day. We had the picture that blew up that got a bunch of people excited of you and I. Yeah. So first slide, first off of the media day post. That's nice.
Yeah.
And what do you think the vibes were like on media day?
I was glad to see everybody in the building. You know, all smiles, the music loud, everybody doing TikTok dances and taking their pictures. So it's not anything to be upset about. And you get to see a lot of the guys' personalities. I got to see some from guys like Ashton, who doesn't show too much of it at times, but you know, he kind of got out of his comfort zone on picture day. And you know, media days is always a good time. I've never had a bad experience with it.
I saw a Trey Stewart yell. You know, that was kind of non-traditional. I saw some Micah Robinson just personality that I've never seen. You know, he's like a TikTok dancing guy. I didn't realize. So I did my little TikTok with him. Did my TikTok with you. We had the media day thing that we did, which we're not going to spoil it. Yeah. But you guys will see it on the Jumbotron, I think, during games, stuff like that. So I'm excited for the fans to see that. And I think the personalities we got this year is really just a wide range of guys. Like we got from Ashton's, Adams, Micah's, kind of more quiet guys.
And then you got Drew.
Out there. Me and you.
Drew,
Ernest.
Me and you, Ern.
Big personalities.
Yeah.
So I think people would really like to see that from us. I think we got some expressive guys. Like, you know, people are going to see Vashon personality on the court. They're going to see him make a layup and yell something, and they're going to be like, he's really fired up. So love that. Guys felt fired up. Going into this official first practice on Monday, I think that the energy's in the right place. Yeah. And I'm excited to see, you know, the shift in energy that Dixon's going to put on, because he's for sure going to shift a little bit. It's going to be hard at first, and then I think we're just going to come out of it so much better.
I agree.
So looking forward to that, and looking forward to the entire season. So that about wrap it up for this episode of the Redshirts podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and all the support, and see you on the next episode.